second episode of the Lofi Evenings with Jones. It's only in the evenings where people come to tell their stories and where stories have been told. Yes, today we have a special guest. It's none other than Banjop. But before we get to him, I'd like to say first and foremost, thank you for subscribing for the first episode. It was quite good. Thank you for the comments and thank you for appreciating the conversation that we had with Ian. So it was really a good conversation and I hope that you liked it. It's one of the things that make our show special because we like to really talk about the person behind the mask kind of thing. So anyway, today we have Banjop, who is, no introduction, man, but okay, introduce yourself to the camera, bro.
Yeah, what's up, guys, girls, men, women, of all ages. Or others. So hi, my name is Banjop. In case you do not know, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, and I'm a very fun person. Yeah, that's it, man.
That's no introductions, no introductions at all. Okay, I know it's been a while. I mean, we wanted a rapper, we wanted someone else. I think I contacted DJ Nak and said, we got to bring someone over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got to bring someone who's electrifying, who's enthusiastic, and who can talk as well, obviously. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think you got to call Banjop. Banjop was like, hey, I'm a big fan of that guy. I know, because your way of approaching rap is one different thing. I'm going to go that in depth, okay? So I want to talk to you about, first and foremost, your style, bro. You really have a sense of style when it comes to clothes. And especially, remember the other time we were talking about your shades.
Yeah.
How many shades do you have, dude? It's like all of the videos I'm seeing different shades, which is really, really impressive. Yeah, what about your shades, man?
So, like I said, I don't know, normally in the videos, I don't like to make eye contact with the camera. Mm-hmm. So that's where the shades came in. But the reason why you see so many shades out there, it's not because I have many shades.
Okay.
After every video, I have to get new shades because I keep losing the old shades after every video. So there's the secret. It's not style, it's out of necessity. Okay. Basically.
Really?
Yeah, man. I keep losing shades after every shoot.
Like all the shoots you lose, like man, seriously, that's
or it's if that shit doesn't happen, I'll just keep it at the dashboard of the car or something like that. And then the next time I wear them, there are like scratches on the glass. And I'm like, nah, man. Because like with the 4K resolution and everything gets like very defined, right, on camera. And I don't want that shit happening on screen. So that'll really suck.
that really brings to interest like your way of taking care of your shades, though. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication, man. I mean, to look good in camera as well as having good shades is something. Especially the video Boston, I really like the shades there. You gotta send me the link to it, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. For that, big shout out to my brother. His name is Nangsan. So he has all the...
Not the Nangsan Plague Throat guy.
No, he's like my youngest brother. So big shout out to him. Okay. Big shout out to Manbha. Dakar, who also stays there in Laban. They're the guys who hook me up with. Otherwise, normally I'm such a slob when it comes to like dressing sense and everything. So they'll be the guys telling me like, you know what, this looks good, this doesn't look good, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I'm more like a guy I'm more of a pajama joggers kind of guy. Like wherever I go, I just put that on. And for all the viewers watching, I'm more of a tamokli kind of guy too. Because winters, there's no sweatshirt, no jacket, no nothing, man. I just put in whatever sweater I have. Might be...
You don't feel cold at all.
Like, yeah, that's like a canopy that covers me. That's like my shield, from all the cold. And I don't... Zero F's given, man. So
I think
that is what it is.
That's the attitude, I think, when it comes to your music as well, I guess.
Yeah.
You need to... Because your music, it's quite... I feel it's a little bit controversial too.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that later on the show. But where did you you said that your sense of style comes from your brothers and all that. Do you have like your own kind of style? Like this is how you like wear most of the time, or that tamokli and all that stuff? This is like your ultimate thing if you go on a date totally like this.
We'll talk about dates later. We'll talk about dates later.
Okay. But, But for now it's like this is like...
Yeah, like for now I like wearing comfortable clothes, I like wearing comfy because it's not about like fashion, so to say. It's like more about the attitude. So it's like that, man.
I think one of the things about rap I've always found is that, the attitude behind it. It's always one thing. Like, I've met guys who are like, when you meet them, they're like, hey, how are you, man? Once on stage, like a different beast. It's like, whoa, this guy is totally different.
Yeah.
So how did you build that attitude of yours? Like, that really like, don't give an F for any person or whatever naysayer out there. How did it happen to you?
Fam, I think I don't know, when you talk about behind the mask and everything, it's like my stage name is Banjop. Right now, even when I'm at work, people refer to me as Banjop. So as such, there is no mask for me. I am like this, like on the field, off the field, on the stage. It's just that it's a matter of energy levels, So when I'm on the ground, the energy level will be a bit toned down. But on the stage, the adrenaline rush kicks in and I am who I am on stage, man. So the energy from the crowd drives me to be even more hyped up.
Okay.
So people also tell me that, bro, did you have some sort of energy drink or some other stuff?
Other stuff.
Okay. Chapaja.
Okay. Anyway, no problem, guys. You guys all know the code.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
So basically, nah, man, that's not it. It's like I just go on stage and the adrenaline kicks in and I'm just the way that I am, man. So
it's one of the things that really makes you who you are, right? That personality thing, I think it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, can you tell me a little bit about how did you build that attitude, that kind of like Boston attitude, unintended. Okay. So how did you go through a lot of obstacles and like to reach to that point, or is it like just naturally comes to you?
I think it's more of a natural thing for me, basically, because I've been used to being on stage since school days. Like I've been on stage since school days.
By stage you mean you rap like from
like no, man, I've been like in an enclosure, not enclosure, but I've been in a setting where there are people and I had to deliver talks. I had to like speak my mind out. So it was more about telling people my point of view rather than trying to convince them. Because whether they agree with you or not, whether they disagree with you or not, they will definitely appreciate if you bring a point of view across. So that is the main attitude that I go. I'm not there to impress people. I'm just there to express my views, man. So
it's like poetry, but more or less very aggressive poetry, like Tupac, obviously.
Yeah, fam.
Yeah, it's like the thing is about the truth nowadays. It's so obscure, and people they tend to, they don't tend to speak the truth. But in some of your songs, man, it's like total truth, and it's like in your face kind of thing. Like, don't you feel scared of people thinking about you and talking behind you, be like, oh, this guy is he speaking facts or is he speaking truth? And maybe like from people outside, do you feel a certain kind of like scared or frightened about different things? Because speaking the truth is not easy, bro. And you have seen so many martyrs out there. So
yeah,
what do you think about that? How do you like speak the truth, man?
The truth, I don't know, man. There's no gray area on truth. It is what it is, and you just have to open your eyes, basically. So for me to basically be scared of what I will say, and for whatever I will say on camera or my songs or anything, I'm not just a hot air balloon which is just going to let air out there.
Yeah.
So I do my research too.
Yeah, that's true.
And if anybody has disagrees with me, I'll be like, okay, bring out your points. Let me check out your point of view and back them up with facts, because facts don't care about your feelings as such. Because people might be hurt at times, but then where are your facts, right? Because people are too sentimental and everything. Even my song Graves Out of Space, it showed like the very dark scene of like modern India as such. I did not pinpoint names. I did not bring out any names. I'm just saying, like, these are the facts.
General facts.
These are the general facts. VIP, the very important people that we have, the VIP culture and everything. A raining parade, like you can, like people will basically get whatever they want, right? But what about the common man? He'll just go out to get milk or something. He'll be lathi charged, and at the end of the day, he won't even get to go back home, right?
That's true.
And we're talking about like a progressive nation as we move forward, but then there's still so much of discrimination against women. Right, so many of these issues, man. So if people, like, there are many lines you can be proud person of the nation, I would say proud person of the nation. You can belong to a certain ethnicity, religion, caste group, doesn't matter. You can be proud of who you are there. Tamba, you cannot also blindside but the atrocities that has happened, you know, so it is what it is. There's truth in admiring where you come from.
Sure.
Right? That is fact. You have to be proud, right, of where you come from. To whom do you belong? It brings a certain oneness there. But then the moment you say that, you know what, my thing is the most perfect thing, like then that becomes a different issue. So
yeah, that is so true because there are lots of snowflakes out there, man. It's lots of snowflakes. to be fair, they're like, with all due respect to all the people out there, it's like sometimes they always listen to the friends or the peer groups and be like, oh yeah, this is facts.
Good coffee, by the way, man.
Shout out to James, man. James Nissan.
I think I need another cup. I'm just kidding, bro. Handle the camera.
That's the truth right there. That's the truth.
And for everybody watching, you need to try out this coffee, okay?
Made by James' family. So, but coming back to like, I mean, like, man, seriously, the coffee really made me happy. But anyway, yeah, like I said, there are lots of people out there so influenced by the masses, like without even, like you said, the facts, the proper understanding of what it means, and just like, oh yeah, I think he's wrong because of X, Y, Z, right?
Exactly.
So what do you think, like, if you think about in a global sense of way, or maybe even India as well, or even Northeast? I feel like we were talking the other day with Ian about this thing. So, like, sometimes you look at employment-wise, we youth are really in the like threshold of struggling for, you know, doing exams, and the person who really deserves it, I know it sounds very controversial, but the person who deserves it doesn't get it. And it's like, the way you spoke about truth, I think people should know that, you know, like I've heard lots of friends, like, you know, having anxiety and having this depression and all that stuff. Like, you being a person who have almost like gone through life, have you ever gone through a certain kind of phase where it's like really motivate through these not struggles per se, but you going through the situations made you like fuel your context when it comes to rapping?
Well, like I said, like I carry my own perspective, and more than anybody out there who criticizes me or says bad stuff about me, I can really appreciate all of that, because hate is the other side of love, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they love you so much, and if you disappoint them, they're gonna hate on you. But then nobody is a bigger critic than myself. So if I'm not doing well with whatever it is I'm doing, especially when it comes to the rap game, I mean, people might enjoy my songs and stuff, but if there is something which I do not like in my rap verses, I can even scrap the whole project. The word projects which I have basically contemplated about releasing, but then I'm thinking like, you know what, this is not up to the part, that sort of thing. So you scrap it all? I scrap the project because that is my quality control. That is my quality control. And when it comes to the truth and everything, man, I try to back up with, look, with everything that is going on with the current affairs kind of thing, you know. But it doesn't have to be with what I would say with entertainment. Yeah. So nowadays, I think information is like readily available everywhere in the internet. That's true. And you know, at a click of a button, you can get all of that stuff. True. But people are paying attention more to things which are not able to change lifestyle.
That is true. The negative part.
The negative part.
The positive part. Yeah.
Exactly. And maybe they're concentrating more on things which are not relevant to build a better future. True. Right? For example.
Yeah, it's like the negative part, like they can do many things. Yeah. But they tend to focus more on the bad side or the nihilistic side, right? Yeah. It's very sad to say, but it's the truth, man. Like at the end of the day, that's how it is. And I've seen like people nowadays is just like they thrive in this negativity, which is okay. Sometimes you need to be realistic, but then thriving in it, it sounds like you're living out of that negativity, which is something that.
Yeah, man. Because what I've realized also is, I mean, I used to be the guy who's always the complaint box. You know, I'd always be like, shit, the roads are so bad. Yeah. Like, oh, we don't even have our own local people and our own local administration.
Yeah.
Check out Secretariat. How many people who are IAS officers or whatever, man, from the central government who are actually local people. Revolt, that kind of stuff. That mentality used to be there. And then I used to think like, hey man, aren't we like digging our own hole doing that? Because obviously there are things which you cannot change, and there are things which you can change, right? So in that sense, like I want to address more issues regarding all these things, but in a different perspective. As in, I complain, but then I'll also try to hint to a proper solution, because a lot of I'm saying I really enjoy a lot of music, especially in the hip hop, because it's very authentic towards identifying problems that we have in society.
True.
Different, but everybody is like keeping they keep on digging the same thing over and over again.
That is true.
It's like, yeah man, the same problems in the society, but then we don't see like solutions branching out of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where I want to address issues. Now we have problems with corruption. What's your solution?
Yeah.
We have, maybe influx or whatever it is, where you call people from the outside coming in. What you're going to do about it? We have people at the top level, bureaucracy level, who are not like tribal people, Khasi, Jantia, Garos, complain.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? I think more than anything else, as an artist, I want to maybe be just a little light that's going to inspire a culture of not complaining, but rather finding solutions and stuff like that. Because from my point of view, what I feel is I really appreciate people who actually complain and then also provide solutions there. Otherwise, they were just like creating like jado over and over again, no? Jado again and again and again.
Like jalebi, huh?
And I've been exposed to like various cultures, across northeastern states. I've had friends from like Nagaland, Mizoram, Assam, Manipur, like you name it, man, Tripura, and we're still in contact and everything. But then when you have these cultural exchanges, even from like not mainland India or something like that, and they should not be termed as mainland Indian because we are one only, right? But then I think exchange of cultures have brought me to this perspective where, as a society here, what I feel what we're lacking, we have like true indigenous culture, but in the contemporary terms of culture, I think we have that slackiness culture there, where people here, I mean, there's no harm in partying, right? But we don't have, we have like a party culture which is really good. In a year, the moment like the lockdown and everything lifted off, what was the number one culture, man? Festivals and this and that, like amazing, because it provides like a lot of opportunities to arts and culture and artists and outreach and everything, right? But then there was a science fest also which happened like last month, and it was a festival. It was like a national level Olaka festival there.
Okay.
But then when it comes to that, like just a few people came, and then it made me realize like when I got in contact with the colleagues from outside and everything also, and my friends also, they're like, man, in our culture, you know what? Students from like class 6 and class 7, they're preparing for all these exams and they're like hammering themselves like 6, 7, 8 hours a day. JEE and IIT and all that stuff there. Like what I want to say is like, that culture exists, the party culture exists. Out here also it exists. But what we're lacking this side is maybe more of the study culture. We don't have that study culture out here. And the culture this side, when it comes to that line, it's like just get good marks, get on. It's like this is education in just like the surface level. But if you want like really in-depth knowledge, you have to develop that culture there.
Yeah.
The same as in sports. You can't be like, oh, you know what, Olympics is next month. I'll start practicing from today, man. You're like, yeah, last minute. And if they get through, it's because it's like naturally gifted, this guy. But what about people what are we competing with like the rest of the people who are also naturally gifted? You need to like burrow deep, like back like to the stage where you're just in the development phase there. So what I feel is like out here, when we talk about culture, like, the study culture kind of lacks the side. That is why like we feel like we're losing control, because to make a change, you have to bring about a change. And nowadays, if you can make a change at the lower level of society, no doubt, but you can bring a bigger change if you're on top of that administrative level there. So which is what we are lacking. And in order to change at the higher level, I think you have to become very influential to the point where a word you say, everybody like listens to you. Oh, sometimes he farted, like that kind of shit. Go itu guy some like, oh manu tu,
Everybody,
that kind of
a
stuff.
single word can change it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I totally agree what you're saying is like there should be kind of a balance, like we had that conversation with this multiple guests and were saying that we always had this kind of culture where we were so not stereotyped per se, but we're just like we have arts, commerce, science. That's it. You don't have anything else.
Yep.
The smartest are the science people. You're like the arts, so you're okay. Shall we say? Commerce, you're like okay, a bit okay, but then like that. And I feel like why we lack so much is that, like you said, that culture. Okay, there's no doubt about it. We need to have a certain kind of culture where we can have fun, meet friends. Yeah, that's good. Party a bit here and there, but also have a certain kind of balance where you can actually bring progression to society as a whole.
Exactly.
Because IS, nowadays if I hear IS students, right, so why you go for IS? No, because I want to get money. Money.
Exactly, man.
And I want to have a VIP car. Kind of thing.
The perks.
Yeah, the perks are so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's good. That's the bonus about your hard work and dedication. But what about like the society thing? Do you ever consider making a change for the education, making people more progress, and especially when you look at rural areas, they need more help than we do, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the sad thing about that is, like you said, man, it's like there's such a huge disparity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like there's no justice when it comes to jobs.
Exactly.
I feel like I think you have seen most of your friends who really work hard, but they don't get it.
Yeah.
This is just like the it's not just pure we're just saying from the top of our head or something, but it's something that we see every day. So like me, what about you? Like when you were like my age, I'm 27, so I just turned 27. I'm flexing again. So anyway, it was March 4th. So anyway, so I want to ask.
Oh, happy belated birthday, man!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Subscribe, like.
Press
the bell icon. Until next time.
But seriously, man. Okay, first before we get to that, you're a really humorous guy. Where did you get your humor from? Did you get it from your mom or from your,
I don't know, man.
It just comes.
It's the coffee.
We added something in it, so just
big shout out to you, my man.
He added something. He wants to be like, man, today is like I'm quite feeling feverish and all that stuff. And the coffee made it more awake, so which is a good thing. So yeah, what are you talking about just now? Anyway, so we were talking about disparity about jobs and all that.
Yeah.
So you being a person who have gone through a lot, being 24, 27, finding just your current job, it must have been hard, I guess, right?
Yeah, man, it was really hard because there were a lot of government exams which we had to give through MPSC and everything, and the competition is also very. It's not like before, you just get through your degree, like the job will come flying to you like a chapal, like the chapal from your mom if you misbehave, that kind of shit. Bars. So it's not like before, nowadays. For any exam, like for example, if you go for like BTech or maybe Bachelor's of Technology, which is engineering, like maybe for any seats available at any particular time, there'll be more than like 300 applicants that took from one discipline. Engineering, we're talking about engineering,
specialized courses.
Yeah, specialized courses, like BTech civil engineering, for example. About 300 candidates will be applying for how many jobs, man? Maybe like 30 to 40 jobs. So I'm saying like there's. It all comes like to the supply of engineers is like so much of an excess. I'm just giving from my perspective. I'm not gonna go anywhere else because that's my
that's your thing. Yeah.
So it's hard, man. And people nowadays they're like working more harder and more and there are so many resources available online. You just have to put in the right effort and we're seeing like the brilliance come out from a lot. And in order to compete, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And you can't just like expect to like the olden days I used to hear stories of my elders, right? they'd say like, man, I just passed out. Like I passed from college, just went to apply. I got the job done. Nowadays,
call you, man.
Bro. Nowadays it's like, nahi chalega ye sab hi na. Come long घूमने.
A wise man.
Come long घूमने.
Right now.
Come long घूमने.
But it tends to be that way nowadays. You can't just dabble here and there. Be like, okay, yeah, I'll be able to get that job if I just pass an X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
I'll tell you the truth, man. It's like nowadays, the more you pass, the more your job is farther away from you. That's I've always found about that.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Get your whatever it may be, or as many qualifications as possible. I feel like the job is always running away from you.
Exactly.
There'll be someone better than you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can also be related to the rap game. I think there's always someone who can outwrite you, who can write like double entendres, and I don't know, man. Like these guys, some guys are like totally so talented. I mean, it's like, don't you find them intimidating? Like meeting all these. I know I'm bouncing from one topic to the other.
It's all good, man. But you bring like reference,
Yeah,
so it's all about references.
Man. Anyway, I know. Sarcasm at its best. Anyway,
I am not a sarcastic person, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I thought. Okay.
I really like these. The interviews that it's lively, man. I like this. Is like if you just like talk about data, and it's like like nothing to talk about, no humor. I like that, man. Thanks for bringing the humor, though.
Yeah, man.
So let's do the coffee also. We are referencing too much of the coffee.
Yeah. Okay.
So how is the rap game on tune? I think it must be very competitive, man.
Yeah, man. It is because nowadays, look, there are a lot of talented individuals out there, rappers, MCs, and I really appreciate all of them. But for the fact that will I ever be intimidated by anybody? I don't know. I've never thought of it in that light because
respect. I think it's a word.
I think I just let them do them and I'll do me, like that kind of stuff.
That's true.
So, but then like if anybody wants to bring up a certain thing which I do not like in their songs, then I don't go, yapping over the camera or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, let me just fold my sleeves, pick up my pen and then address it in the song.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, Like some days maybe somebody will be better than you.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be better than you forever.
True that.
One day you rise, one day you fall. But then
they will always have that pitfall.
You just have to have the consistency to keep yourself pushing.
Yeah, that's true.
I
think this is a good segue. We can talk about Cone, right? If you know that. So Genie started off this whole franchise where he's the best in the Northeast, the king of Northeast, right? Cone. So for your information. So your response was really, really straightforward. No BS, nothing. So how has it been like after your release? Like how has it been like after your response? How did the people react to the whole thing? Was it good or like I've seen like the comments? They're like really supporting you, man, from Nagaland, Mizoram, Aizawl, and how is it like because this culture is in rap is like the essence of everything, right?
Yeah.
From Park to Nas to Jay-Z to everyone these days.
Drake and Pusha T.
Yeah, Pusha T.
Yeah.
I think Drake and Weeknd as well. They had a huge.
Yeah, it was more like subliminal shots given to each other and stuff.
Kendrick and Drake as well.
Yeah.
Damn, it's like totally different things. I think Kendrick is your favorite artist to date.
Yeah, man. Kendrick, Drake.
Yeah.
Eminem. I listen to a lot of like rappers in particular, and a bit of Logic. Yeah, man.
I think so. Like I was asking, is like
J. Cole. Yes, J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
You can say J. Cole, people kill you, man. Seriously, nowadays, like, okay. What I was asking is that how do you feel about the response? Like, how did people respond to the whole thing about you dissing back? I think lots of response to Genie, and he's a good artist.
Yeah, man.
He's really.
I think from the Northeast, I think he's probably one of the most influential. I won't even say rapper. I'd say artist, rapper, like that kind of stuff. So you have to give respect where respect is due.
Yeah,
I mean, he has done a lot for the scene too.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have to understand at the end of the day, would you rather have people bombing the shit out of each other, like what Russia is doing to Ukraine, or would you rather have people have like maybe destructive dialogue, but it's through, verbally that sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never harm you. And if words harm you, you're not supposed to be here in the rap game in the first place.
True.
You're not supposed to take personal. Even when they're being personal, you can't take it to be personal because as long as people don't come and assault you or cause some sort of a physical damage to your loved ones or yourself, that is where the line is being drawn down.
True.
So
it tends to go more than that. Some of these rap disses,
man,
it's like it hurts, man. You can see it doesn't hurt, but it hurts.
It really hurts,
Seriously,
it really, really hurts. It really hurts.
Especially for the loved ones.
Man, to be honest, also I'm more of a guy who listens to. I like battle rap, so I check out battle rap also.
So freestyling is something kind of thing.
I'm not a freestyler per se, but I listen to the words that battle rappers per se go for, and I think the substance there, as somebody who wants to develop the craft from a substantial and qualitative point of view, that is where like the cream of rappers there.
True.
Like if you just take it with the beat, take it with the instrumental, if you have just the raw essence of like, so that is where the real essence is,
I think nowadays it's too much, the essence is not there anymore, but then like the instrumental is like, man, is like if this instrumental was with this guy, it'll be totally like an awesome thing.
Exactly.
I've always noticed that. But do you think I feel like this generation now when it comes to rap game, it's like cloud chasing, man. I feel, with all due respect to all the mumble rappers out there, I think Future started it, I don't know who started it, but I've always seen these guys now growing up and just like posting a girl with, big behinds and big asses and all that stuff. Like, what is your view on these guys? Do you because J. Cole really, he respects the dynamics, but he feels like, like 1985 was his response, right? That was a good, okay, I'm the father and I'll teach you something about rap, right?
Yeah.
What is your take on this modern day rap that is going on right now?
I think personally, with no offense to anybody, I feel like in any craft, work, any field that you are in, right, there's a process where you have to allow progression to take place, evolution rather. So if maybe they start off in the wrong foot, or maybe if they want to pursue that, enter the game through that process where they have girls, they want to show off the thick behinds or whatever it is, it's totally up to them. As long as they don't have underage girls.
That'd be scary though, man.
That'd be scary. No.
I need bleach for my eyes, man.
As long as there's like a consensual approval from the other party and everything, then man, go for it. It's like creative expression. If it brings better aesthetics, right, to it, so that's true. But then from maybe they're talking about their experiences, not rather preaching a message. Because there are two things like in the hip hop game nowadays I see, especially in Meghalaya, there are so-called the conscious rappers, and there are so-called like people who just
cloud chasing.
Maybe there are maybe that's the third category, but there are also people who are not cloud chasing, but they just wanna say what's in their mind, what they've experienced.
True.
Right? So if a person goes into a party and he witnesses like, oh, you know what? That certain person is like that, and this other person is like that. He's not gonna sugarcoat his lyrics there. No, he's gonna, man, I met this one girl, she was so bad. Oh, the lyrics will be that way. And then like the other side of the party were like very consciously outspoken. They'll be like, shame on you. We're like the morale police,
Talk about real stuff.
They talk about real stuff. I mean, how much more real can you keep it if you are at a party and you witness these things? You can't say like these people were at the best behavior. They were only drinking lime juice, cranberry juice, and milk. Without sugar, something like that. Obviously they're not gonna write about that, man. They're gonna like be very descriptive in their writing, right? And the way that these rappers will complement their style of rapping is with really hard hitting 808s and the club bangers type of instrumentals. But then like you can only experience that you can't go to parties every day, right? So that is where evolution comes to. Maybe you start off partying first, you write about that stuff, then normally you go back to your old life. Your own life, that is where evolution takes place there. When you're in the real world, what do you write about? So I can never hate on people who basically want to write about partying and stuff like that, as long as they're keeping it real, man. But if you write about stuff which you haven't done, like, you know what, you don't party, you don't ever do stuff like that, and you write songs about party, that's like messed up, man. That's like not keeping it real. And for people, the same goes both ways, right? For conscious rappers, you'd be like, yeah, we should be like against like drinking and this, and the first thing I'll see you is outside and drinking, getting drunk and all that shit. That guy who's partying is more like keeping it real, man. More real than the other person, right? So you gotta walk the walk, talk the talk, and stuff like that, man. Because it is what it is. And when we talk about these things, right? Everybody wants to. It's very easy to like pinpoint fingers as if like we're all saints and stuff, because we've done, as humans, we've made mistakes. We've gone through certain phases in our life where maybe that is the solution, right? Maybe that is an outlet, a phase, so to say. But I really believe that if an artist only needs like the flow of evolution to take care of it, and obviously there are cloud chasers, no doubt. And cloud chasers are people who do not keep it real.
True.
You know, they just oh yeah, this is happening. Okay, fine, let's just
jump into the
hop on cloud,
yeah.
man. Like, that entire stuff, you know.
I think through that, you know, like you said, keeping it real, right? They go through this, you know, popping pills and sipping lean and all that stuff, right? I think they can teach more better lessons to the crowd because they have gone through it. Like I remember this one, there was one podcast where Joe Rogan was interviewing Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
So she has gone through a lot of stuff in her life, from drugs to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's about to write a book about drugs to small kids. I know it sounds insane, but that could really help people, you know, like, okay, don't smoke too much or don't use drugs too much. I think I feel you, man. It's like sometimes these guys, they may look very funny, in my opinion, but like they are preaching a message where at least you could able to learn from it, you know?
Yeah.
Because they have gone through it themselves. So that's the thing. I really like the rapper right now. Right now, I really am impressed. 21 Savage, man. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he was like very mumbly when he started out, but now he's like with J. Cole, he's like
crazy.
He bodied that one, man. Seriously. So what is like your all-time favorite when it comes to conscious rap, or when it comes to, you know, these new rappers right now? I mean, like, apart from the Logics and the J. Coles and the, you know, Joyner Lucas and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what's your all-time favorite when it comes to conscious raps?
I think J. Cole is there. Then more conscious. I think it's not about conscious anymore. It's about
The vibe.
realistically speaking, because conscious is like you're trying to preach a message which is good for society.
Yeah, true.
But realistically speaking, I would say like Drake is up there because I have a friend of mine who went through some serious relationship shit. I think there was that song Hotline Bling.
Oh,
That song was released like so many years back, right?
Yeah.
But then he said, Baba, that song only hit me now. Because he had this one massive epiphany where shit went down in his relationship. I'm not even gonna name him. But he said, oh, ever since you left the city, you been wearing less and going out more. So you say, oh, because that shit happened
to him.
It's like, shit, man.
So
I
you
had this
understand
thing
the
going. I have this thing going with this other person, and this other person, when I'm not there, when I was out of the city, this person, like, you know, going out and everything and chill, like, totally different and stuff like that. So he's like, bro, that hit me. I was like, okay, nice.
I like that, seriously. I mean, like The Weeknd was one of the guys.
Yeah.
If you look at him, he's like, oh, this guy, he talks about all this party life, the sex and all that.
Yeah.
But if you really inspire, I know people will be rolling their eyes because people who know me, I'm a big Weeknd fan, like a really big Weeknd fan. But then it's like, if you really delve deep into what he says, it's like the vulnerability that he shows. I think most of the artists, you won't see that. Man.
Definitely, man.
Definitely. So that's why it's like, I like Drake and I like The Weeknd because they're more or less kind of like the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, they brought up a new
wave, man.
Wave of R&B.
It's like Toronto wave, no?
Yeah.
So,
what is
crazy.
like, go on, boss. My apologies. You want to
yeah,
say
man,
something?
all good. Like, so, yeah, even with the Toronto vibes, when it was a brand new song on Weekend and Drake, and even now also Tory Lanez, and we have like Party Next Door. So I'm more in tune with like those type of guys because if you listen to the lyrics and everything, it's more about where you're located. Supposing if you're located in a place where you have a lot of struggles, like a lot of struggles regarding poverty and everything, right? So this is where your representation will be in the form of the artists that represent you. So that's why I can feel like a lot of people can relate to Tupac, right? Because he speaks about poverty and the injustice and everything. But what about the people? Like nowadays also, even in our close-knit society, we have like different classes of like financial status, right? You have like the big shot people. Then you have like the middle class, like people who are like, ordinary people. And then you have also like, people who are struggling very bad when it comes to financial wise, right? Who are living in poverty through like, who are like finding it very difficult to adjust with life. So, I mean, there's a representation in every level. Maybe for people who are like in the middle class family, like we search for something that resonate more with home. Right?
That's true.
More like home. So that's why a lot of people will be like, okay, listening more to Drake or listening more to Weeknd or maybe Tory Lanez and all these like new wave artists which speak about what they actually see there. Because you can never talk about poverty unless you've been through poverty. Right? And those things. That's keeping it real, right? I can never talk about poverty if I've never been through poverty. And I can never talk about like being filthy rich if I haven't been filthy rich. So I'll just talk about whatever I see, experience. So stuff like that, man.
I think what you said is very true because if you look like Party Next Door, I think you have listened to Black Atlas by any chance. Okay,
which one?
Black Atlas. So he's like a new artist of the XO. So that is Weeknd's kind of. So like Tory Lanez and her and all these other other artists in the R&B scene. They, when you listen to their songs, like, oh man, why it's so seductive and like, it's like, but that's what they are. That's what they have gone through, like what you said is very, very true. They're going through this thing themselves and that's why they're preaching it, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, for example, do you know this genre called horrorcore? Like the Slim Shady, the Tech Nines and all these twisted and stained.
Exactly.
What's your view on these guys? I always wanted to ask a rapper, what's your view on this horrorcore thing? Because there's lots of controversy, eating people and all that stuff. Like,
bro, that's like, I think it's the same controversy as how you would treat any other genre. Like hip hop is grown to such a freaking culture. There's subcultures behind that also. Within like, within hip hop there is subcultures also, man. So it's the same as back in the day metal also had like metalcore and all this stuff and
death metal.
Death metal. So the same can be said about Cannibal Corpse. They talk about like
Cannibal Corpse. Oh my goodness,
bro, man.
Too good, man.
So you talk about Cannibal Corpse too. They talk about decapitating people. They're doing this, that, doing that. So it's the same response everywhere because people really hate like outlandish imagery when it comes, especially when it comes to death. The shock value is there now. So just because of the shock value, it goes up. But then it's just for their cases. I think it's more of the imaginative process when it comes to the artistic creation from their part.
I think it's like figment of the imagination kind of thing. No?
Like
Eminem has Slim Shady.
Exactly.
He's a killer, right?
Exactly.
And Eminem is like the good guy kind of thing.
Exactly. It's like a persona being brought out. Like that sort of thing.
Do you have your Banjop K? So do you have like maybe in your lyrical book, do you have like a kind of like a very like scary, like you want to release it but you're feeling scared to release it kind of thing?
No, man.
You don't have like decapitating people and chopping their head or something?
I don't want to do that.
It's just figment of your imagination.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, if there are people like that, then if that's your cup of tea or coffee, hey.
So
at the end of the podcast, I just want to let everybody know that he's going to open a coffee shop, right?
Very, very soon.
Right? Very soon. So, like I said, I don't have like sort of imaginations running wild like that. But I have reflections though. I have reflections. And then the mask that comes out, it's not through the name of Banjop, it's through my tonality. Every time like I enter a song, you will immediately know that, he's trying to be very emotional with this one. He's trying to be very reflective. Or he's just straight up going there and going to decapitate the beat. Like, I'll just go in there, plop, 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 say what I have to say, get out. Get in, get out. And there are tracks where I just want to go there, chill, relax. Everything comes with my tonality, delivery and everything. So it's like that.
You're a very versatile guy. I've seen like, man, you go from love song, like start decapitating people, dissing people, but then going back to love song and taking it
decapitating versus Ian.
Decapitating. You got me there, man. So decapitating versus, yes.
Yeah.
Decapitating bitches. Sorry, I didn't say that. So anyway. So
the real you comes out. He wants to decapitate people.
No. Cut.
Next serial killer. I'm just kidding, man.
I think I listen too much of these like Cannibal Corpse and like Twisted Insane and all these guys, man. They're really, whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the rap game, right? How do you write like your lyrics? Like, how did you start? Like, do you start like, because Tech 9 has a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
Logic has a certain kind of way. Join Lucas. Tech 9's about so what is kind of your way of starting? Like, especially for the new rappers out there who's trying to learn how to get into the flow, and what is your take on should you?
So I think I look at it from a different perspective. It's not just when you look into an instrumental, first off, there's like the tempo, like beats per minute and this and that. But the preliminary thing that you should do is just feel the beat first. Like, you're not competing against the beat. That is not your enemy, because that's what I made a mistake at first of like trying to compete against the beat, and then finally it's not it's not pleasing to the ear.
True.
So first off, the beat is your dance partner.
Yeah.
So you have to
you're there.
move with the beat,
Okay.
grab her by the waist, be very romantic, or be aggressive.
Be very, very aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
I think trap beats are like that kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you listen to the music first, or do you like start first? Like, okay, like some guys they write for the lyrics and all that, then they listen to the instrument, then they just rap based on that.
Yeah.
Or do you like listen first, then from there like you make the lyrics based on that, that song or something? Do you do that?
I mean, there are two types of projects. If somebody gives me a project and you have to do it on this beat, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just get it done with, listen to the beat. Then maybe technically speaking, I'd be like, okay, these are the many bars that I need to fit in like within this like time span. Okay, this is the amount of multi-syllabic rhymes I need to put. All that technical stuff comes out. But if I'm being myself and everything, I feel the beat first, because I want people to actually listen to that again and again. So that is my sort of approach. And obviously, I cannot be also monotonous over and over again, because people get bored of the same flow, right?
Yeah.
So what I do is like, I try to switch up things in between. And that is how the creative process comes. So that when people listen, they repeat that again and again and again and again. Because that's what people should actually do to your record. They should like use it again and again and again.
And you won't get fed up.
Yeah.
Especially this world nowadays, you see them very short span, like you listen to that, I'm tired of this song. I think you've been there. I think I have listened to like a bit of, these pop is like in that moment, it's very nice. But then if you listen to sing, you say, man, tired. But being versatile is something altogether. You're a versatile person. So what about the song Min Same, right? We have all heard about that. And James is such a big fan of that, our collaborator. We were all excited, like, oh, Banjop's gonna come, the Min Same guy, right? So how did you like, that was, I think, with all due respect, that was your girlfriend there?
Yeah.
So okay, that makes it more special, I guess, in some way.
I keep it real.
That's like, you were not acting at all, right?
No. Like I said, man, I keep it real.
Like, yeah, like keep it more real. I think when you're there with the person that you love is something altogether, right?
Yeah, man.
So how did that song came out? Like, how did it all came to be?
I think it was a culmination of all the feelings that I had. The feelings that I had with Min Same. So I just had those things where I felt I was in a very bad place at once upon a time. And I've been going through like, which I will speak in a later part of this. Yeah. We still have time, right?
Oh, a lot of time, man.
Come on, cool. We need more coffee, bro. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Go now.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure. So when it came to Min Same, what happened was I was just there at the studio of my friend. He's a member of BAD. Right?
Oh, Bad.
Bad.
Weak was a very nice song. I really like Weak.
Yeah, man.
That was like seductive, very good. That's not what I. Okay, anyway, go on, go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna talk with whole you.
Oh my gosh. Even that song, big shout out to BAD.
Yeah.
You know, big shout out to Nag, big shout out to Stephanie, no, big shout out to the entire crew, man.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't be here also because if not for you guys.
Shout out, bro. Anyway,
Shout out. Where are all the cameras? Shout out.
3 cameras
Shout
right
out.
now. That's a flex. No cap. No cap.
No cap. I have a cap, but no cap.
That's why I like to bring people here. Like I like to laugh. I think the coffee. Why not talk so much about the coffee, man? Anyway.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking about Minsim. So I was there with Deepu, who is also the member of BAD. So we was just chilling. I think it was after the whole scenario where we were recording some really hard track, man. I forgot at that point in time. Then this guy was like just skipping through it. They have like a beat channel in YouTube, which is BAD.
Okay.
B.A.D. And if you want to go to their channel, just type in B.A.D Shlong, because there are a lot of bad titles out there.
Okay.
Like so anyway, he was playing through his channel and stopped skipping, and then I was just having my headphones like this microphone here, and I was just having you. And I was like, and then I freestyled like that first 2 lines and stuff, and we played that back, and it sounded like it sounded actually good. It was like,
okay.
whoa, you know, that kind of stuff happened, and I was like, whoa. Nice. Then, Baba, that sounded so good, man. Let's just do it. Okay. Then I just recorded the first verse. Okay, and then I just posted it in Instagram, and automatically people started hitting me up. And they were like, "Bro, you have to finish that up, man. Finish it up really quick." And I was like, "Okay, we'll get it done." Then I finished the rough version. There were already close friends of mine who were like demanding me that send me the MP3. I don't care if it's mixed or not mixed. You just send me. And then I get like calls in the morning. Baba, I fell asleep listening to the song last night. Kadung kadil.
It was so intoxicating.
Yeah, bro. I was keeping it in repeat. Kadung kadil. Chick I was like, okay, cool. So let's get it done. So we recorded it ASAP. And right after that, I got a brother of mine, brother from another mother. Big shout out to Balaji Suma. So he said, Baba, you come over to to his place, which is close to Joy. So it was like, okay, fine, we'll get the shots, everything done. Okay.
Where is that place?
Oh, sorry, that was for Bossing. My bad.
Okay.
So we'll get the shots of Minsim done in it was in his place only.
Okay.
So near Joy. I'm not gonna tell the location.
These two. No. Okay.
You only get to use once, and that's for
That's
me.
for you. No one can it's copyright by the way, so you have to pay him.
So yeah, we got the shots there done, and big shout out to Balaji again. He's he killed it with the visuals, and everything was he came up with such a good script.
Yeah.
We shot the entire video in a day, and we just had an extra day because it was nighttime and we didn't have I don't know, man, I'm not a technical person, but something was wrong with the lens or something because it was at night. So we had to reshoot that on the other day. But then all the main shots were shot on that day, and when the music video came out, it was a very good response.
Okay.
But then the main message behind that, which I want to say, is the person, the Minsim it can be somebody who has changed your life for better. Minsim is somebody who would want to make you a better version of yourself. So this is a representation of Minsim. We use the word soulmate with with people who you vibe with and who you share this connection. That is in English. But when we talk about Minsim and Kasi, it's basically spirit, soul.
Yeah.
So when you are a part of me, if I say you are my Minsim, you're a part of me, what is there to meet when you were already a part of me and I was already a part of you there?
True.
So that was the main essence of that song. And there will be always times where, be it a man or a woman, maybe some other partner that you have, if by chance you're going through a very rough patch in your life, through phases, and you feel like you're finding it very difficult to adjust on your own, right? And you need strength. sometimes we don't need strength. We need a cushion. It's like sometimes when you're very tired of like everything going on with your life, with a lot of stresses going on, with the world pressuring you to do so many things, expectations, and you're just so tired, you can no longer have strength. And when you no longer have strength, what do you need? You just need a cushion.
Yeah.
And the best cushion is like a good hug, man, from somebody who doesn't even say anything, but I get you, I'm here for you. Don't you worry, I've got you, like 24/7. Don't worry about it. I've got you. And that is where like that feeling of nothing else is gonna go wrong. That is where you derive your strength, man.
You put it very like really like poetically. It's really, really something altogether. Like you really need that someone where even though you don't know the person very well, or maybe you know the person very well, but you know that he or she is always there for you, no matter what happens. Like, love nowadays is so superficial, man. I mean, with all due respect to all the youngsters out there, it's like the dating scene is so dynamic, man, nowadays. So like, for me personally, it was, for these younger generation, it's like quite easy to get a girlfriend now. But during our time, man, was like cold approach and all this crap, which is very, very scary.
Bro.
How do you find out the dating culture nowadays? Like, do you like what is going on right now? Is it, and by the way, there are lots of sims. We have gone through sim phase as well. I have gone myself.
Simp.
Yeah. So what do you think about the dating culture nowadays, man? It's so dynamic. The dating apps are like
crazy,
dude. It's like, man, I've seen these guys like they swipe. They even paid for that premium version. They don't even get like selected. I mean, I feel so sad for them, man. What's your take on the dating culture right now, man?
So
I know because you guys you have gone through experience, obviously.
Yeah. So I think with I don't know, man, dating culture nowadays, I feel like they have a better chance of meeting their soulmate nowadays, or maybe the wrong ones nowadays. Yeah. It's like the same amount. I think you get a higher percentage of possibility happening for you if there are apps that will help you reach out to some other person. Nowadays, without even seeing a face, you can even interact with this other person. That's all good. And if we compare it to our times back then, Facebook was the only Tinder we had, man. It was like, whoa, nice profile picture.
All the girls will always add friends, remember?
Yeah. Then go to we didn't even have DMs, man, back then. You just had to go to messenger, whatever.
Yeah.
Hi. What's up?
That is always the thing before. It's like, hi. I remember those names that we changed, like the Marban Young Angel. Like,
and the way to woo women is to have a very cool bio, no? Zero F's given about life.
Love football.
Yeah, love football. Then listen to metal and you like the bands were like the cool bands were lined up as if like you were working there or something like that. Manageable. Yeah. So that was the thing which would attract the other opposite sex. So I mean, some worked, some didn't. And if we fast forward nowadays, I think that is where the paradigm shift has come there. Nowadays we need very less words and more of pictorial content. It's like pictures play a more important role than dynamics. Pictures play more important role than conversations, because people no longer conversate, they just slide.
So true, man.
Like people don't conversate anymore in messengers or whatever. People just randomly slide. What's up? Even if there's zero gravity, I'd still fall for you.
That's a good pickup line, though. That's a good pickup line, man. If someone was there looking at you, you'd be very happy.
Yeah.
The guy who's ever looking right now, the girl will be like, oh damn, hit me hard, man.
Yeah, man. Use that line.
Use that line to your advantage right now.
Yeah, fam.
Certified by Banjop. But yeah, you're so right, man. You're so right when it comes to dating, man. I mean, like, okay, like I've always seen these things, right? They always say that, I tried dating app, I tried this, I tried that, but they don't do anything like in reality. For example, maybe they have an average looking face, which has always been judged, right? If you have an Instagram and the first thing they do is look at your Instagram profile and be like, okay, that's how it is nowadays, right? Like I always had this debate where my friends and I always say that, is it like, do a person who is average looking get more girls in person or in Instagram or whatever it may be? What is your take on it? In my opinion, I think in person it will be far better. Like the exposure that he gets and all that. So how has been like you being a person, being a man, obviously, trying out different with all these, I don't know your love life and all that stuff.
Man, it's all good.
But how's your approach like, been?
Okay, I think back in the past I used to, I don't know, man.
Would you shine better in person or like through?
I think person. I think it's much better if I talk in person.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to, man, you can check out my Instagram profile too, or whatever profile I have online. I need a guy who can handle my media account, man, because it's literally so bad. Some of my friends were telling me, bro, just archive all your posts, start brand new, because you are now people, they want professional looking pictures. And I'm like, I'm keeping it real. But it's like, it's a different level altogether. But before I became like this person who I am today, rapper, singer, back then too, I'd always start chatting with people who I knew first. It won't be like, ooh, I won't just go to any random girl and just say hi. I know this person first, I've met her once, but there is that, face-to-face initial connection on top. Hey, really nice seeing you today. How are you friends? Then the conversation.
Make notes, guys. Make notes.
Then the conversation would flip over to like maybe, can I text you? Something like that.
Can you exchange number?
Cool. And then later on it picks up and it happens like that. But then like even with the preliminary phase of like Instagram chats and WhatsApp messages, they work out, does not necessarily mean that in person they're going to be the person that they are behind their screens.
Yeah, exactly.
Because honestly speaking, if you're searching for like a thing which is going to be like, let's just have fun and we'll just have gone out on dates and drives and party and shit, like it's okay, man, do whatever you want to do. But if you want to go for like relationships and stuff like that, it's more about connections, man. And you have to connect the dots. Who are you as a person behind the screen?
Yeah, true.
Who are you behind the screen? So, and just keep away your screens and just get to know each other. Like, that's the thing, man.
You point out a very good thing, because the art of conversation has gone on now. I feel that's why I started this podcast, because we're so used to that, like, oh, they're done, 3 minutes, done, like finish.
Yeah.
Instant validation, instant video, right? I like that's why we started this podcast actually, because we have lost that conversation that art of conversation where we're having that, just meeting up with a friend and just having a great conversation over a cup of coffee and just like getting to know each other. But I feel nowadays it has been to such a point where, like even in cafes, it's like just sitting and just like hunched over and it's like, dude, there's another person right in front of you. Why don't you talk to him or her, right? I think you must have seen that many times. I have been a victim to that as well, but I think this thing is really
have you also realized what? Because I have had, I won't say friends, but acquaintances where they'd be so freaking quiet, man, face to face. And you step into the next room, they won't write one line, they'll write it. They're like essay, like writers then, this much. And face to face, no. It's like, whoa, man.
That is so sad. That's very sad, seriously.
And I'm not gonna pinpoint or maybe say that that's bad. Maybe that's their way of communication. Maybe in the way of trying to get a communication line going on. Maybe that is their outlet and stuff like that. But to be very overly friendly on the screen, and then when you meet face to face, they're like so stone cold, man. You're like, dude, who is this person? Different like
false
advertisement.
Yeah, fake news.
Fake.
That's what I'm saying. Why it's so sad about this? Like this. I'm not trying to criticize anyone, but it's just that, man. It's like you meet this amazing person through text, and you really like, oh, this guy, this girl is like, she's gonna be your girlfriend or whatever, maybe a wife also as well. You can always dream, right? Sometimes. Yeah. So, but you meet them and like so stone cold, man. You're talking to yourself the whole time. Yeah. And I think it becomes like one of your worst dates of all time. Exactly. So, damn, that's really hard. But like you said, I think people should talk more, man. I think they should like just meet, have a great time, and just leave your phones aside. Just grab a cup of coffee or just
Have like a
great time,
good
man. Yeah,
conversation, man.
that's the thing I really like about the generation that we're having nowadays. Is like, especially the millennials. We are millennials as
Yeah.
well. So it's like this art of conversation is really one thing that I really
Yeah,
like, connecting and getting to know the person better.
Exactly.
That's why the whole podcast thing came to being. So, like, we also have this thing called the alpha males, right? Yeah, I think you have seen Instagram, the alpha males where
Yeah.
we don't care about girls, and
Yeah.
So I know we're talking about dating. I know it's not your like go-to thing, but it's a podcast after all. We need to know more about you. So, do you agree with this alpha male thing? Like, being an alpha male and not respecting girls, and I'm an alpha male. It's
Yeah.
so stupid nowadays. I don't know why.
I think more than anything, I mean, the way that I look into this whole labeling yourself as an alpha male, beta male, or whatever,
Yeah.
sigma male, and all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think you just have to be very comfortable with who you really are. There,
True that.
I feel you're an alpha in the own sense if you own that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You basically, from my perspective, what I feel is like men. I mean, this might be a bit controversial to say, but then I feel like as men, we have to be brutally honest that there are some certain things that we cannot do, the things that women can do, and women cannot also do the things that we can do. So there's like that boundary there.
Yeah.
So the thing about women wanting only alpha males, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. I do not know about that. But from what I've seen personally is if you're being like 100% to yourself, if you concentrate on yourself, then you will find a person who will also walk in the same path as you.
Same journey.
Do not get stuck in one position. If you're making music, make music, walk along the line, but then don't stop. Like whatever you're doing, if you're working out, keep on working out. If you're doing a good job at your office or something, keep doing. If you're doing really good in clicking photos, taking videos, if you're really good in whatever work you do, man, as men or women for that matter, keep on doing whatever you're doing. Walk in that path. Don't compromise your values over somebody else, because at the end of the day, it's like it's you who has to sleep alone. It's you alone in your thoughts. And the thing is, if you walk in your path of being very real and being very hardworking, you will encounter somebody. There are more than, I don't know, man, how many people we have on the earth, man? 7 billion people.
So it's
That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
So if you walk in the same path, right, where you're supposed to be at, you're working,
True.
you're gonna meet somebody in the same path.
True.
And that is the person you've been waiting for your whole life. You'll be like, shit, man, we're like sharing a lot of things. Maybe, subconsciously thinking, the subconscious aspect, the conscious aspect, the chemistry, the likes, the dislikes, interest. There's a high possibility of you meeting that person when you walk in your own path. But the main problem nowadays is what I feel is this whole category of being a beta male, alpha male, and all that stuff. You will be an alpha if you take control of your own life. It's not about dominating the world. It's dominating your own life. Yeah. It's like you against your obstacle in front of you.
Being better each day.
Yeah, being better and never stop moving forward.
Sure.
You always have to keep moving forward. You got shit to do. And if people can't respect the things that you have to do, then what to do?
Yeah, that is true.
And women and men for that aspect, if a person is very dedicated to himself or herself, that is the aspect where the other person will also be looking up there, because the opposite sex will never want somebody who's very uncertain of where they stand. Will I do it? Will I not do it? You have to be affirmative of what you want to do. I'm gonna do it. Like no holds barred. I'm not gonna let like the difference in genders or whatever you want to call it, slow me down. Because what I realize is, and I'm saying this not because I want to pinpoint things out. I've been like that too, like in the past, and I'm saying things out of my own experiences. And I've been the type of guy before where I'll be like, oh my God, I'm simping, or maybe I've been working on a particular project, and because of that particular project, I stopped being me there. I stopped working on myself, working on the projects that I'm supposed to work, and I'm constantly like 24 hours.
You're working for that person.
Yeah, I'm working
Please.
on that like person and just thinking 24 hours.
Something.
Yeah, man. So instead of me having a job to do, my entire job is working on this person. But then now, like, we are moving the same path, and you're stuck here. This person has already evolved into something else, because the same person that you were like with maybe even like a month back is not the same person she was a month back. She will evolve, or he will evolve. So you have to move together there, like working on yourself.
You really point out a very good fact, man. I mean, like sometimes when you look at these people nowadays, like they really work hard. Like you said, you work hard for that person. Or maybe one day she will recognize me after all my hard work. But if you work hard yourself, you tend to find that person. Man. It's not just, they always, I think I've heard that motto where if you chase girls, they run away from you, right? That's how it is, right? So I've always seen also people saying that chivalry is something that is very simple, if you open a door for a girl, it's very simple. I mean, if you don't want, what's your take on that, man? I don't want to say my views, because obviously, like, you're the star of the show, but you're the guest. So what's your take on being, like, respectable? I think Morgan Freeman said it well the other day. Is like, I saw that with Piers Morgan, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. Saying, what is your technique of getting girls, right? And he was saying, respect girls, man. That's the only thing that you can do.
Yeah.
So what is your take on chivalry and, all that stuff?
Look, man, chivalry nowadays, they say, is dead. It's only dead because of certain situations that has put us in this place now.
True.
Because there's a fine line between what a man should do, what a woman should do, what a man should not do, what a woman should not do. It all comes with equality and all that stuff, which I don't want to get into the topic, because we should be equal in all fields of our life. But there are, like I said, there are certain roles that men can only do and women can only do. But as a man, I feel like chivalry should be there. I mean, like, what kind of a man would you be if you cannot treat your woman right? Right? Your woman is not just your woman. She's your queen, man.
Your best friend.
If a man can treat his woman as a queen, then automatically you're at the same level of you being a king, And that is the sort of attitude. It's not simping, so to say. It's raising your levels to that chivalry level there, where once upon a time it was there, but now it's, in the olden days, like during William Shakespeare time, times, maybe even the 1800s, there were instances where if a lady was to cross like a puddle of mud, what this guy would do? He'll just take off his robe, he'll throw it on the ground, milady, and she'll walk over the cloak, because that's chivalry, man. That's chivalry. That respect women to that extent.
Yeah.
And if you can do that for random women, because they respect women so much back in the days, and I'm not saying there wasn't a lot of bad shit that happened back then, but then I'm just giving an example. So nowadays, it's like, if you don't open the door for your woman, then for whom will you do it? And who will she expect it from? You want other guys to open the door. You want other guys to treat your woman as a queen. Then what is your job? You're just like a guy who's just happy letting other men treat your woman with dignity and respect. Then what is your position in the entire relationship? What is your contribution?
Cucked, right? Getting cucked. So sorry for those guys, man. You're getting cucked, man.
I mean, with that being said, it's like, I do understand that when we talk about that entire scene, it's not about simping anymore, it's about chivalry. There are obviously levels that a guy cannot go down to. If you're being badly treated in a relationship and you're having like mental issues because of the relationship, then you just have to back out, man. Because mental issues are something which is not being openly talked about, and a majority of the cases for men also, I would say a lot of them fall into anxiety, depression, whatever it is.
Based on relationships.
Most of it revolves around relationships, and some of them are unemployment and all that stuff there.
True. It just keeps on piling up until you cannot reach that level where you wanna, you have these thoughts.
Yeah.
Obviously the thoughts, the demons that talk to you always.
Yeah.
That's a scary part, man. I really feel you, man. Seriously, this generation now, they're like, they get everything, but they don't get everything. If you know what I mean, like the genuine things, like getting maybe like doing the things that they love. Now they just like sitting there in the computer or whatever it may be, and you have thoughts and you get instant validation. You wanna get a girl, you go to Instagram. You wanna pay a girl, now you can pay a girl who dance actually do things for you, right? Which is very, very, I won't say pathetic, but that's how the world is nowadays.
Yeah.
Instant validation, Yeah, man, I think today was really an awesome day, but I mean, like at the end of the day, we talked about dating. But I think we'll go to another segue.
Yeah.
I think another section where you are the third. I think you are the second, right, from your 6 brothers, right? 6.
No.
First.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Okay, we have a leader, right? An alpha male. so how did we were talking the other day we were talking through the phone and all that. How like being the leader, more as you're the leader because you're responsible every time. Has it been hard for you being like a very responsible son? And like I know like my big brother is the same person. He always says like you cannot take my position kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would kill me right now. So anyway, but how does it feel being like the first and the responsibility behind it, man?
Man, it's an honor, man. Like, to be honest, I think my brothers are my best friends. Like, I don't even have like guy friends anymore because like my guy friends, I would say I would limit it to within 4 at the max, like outside my brother's circle there, which I can totally trust with. Big shout out to Hamilton.
Okay. Does your brother?
Nah, that's a different friend.
Oh,
like
okay.
that's a friend. That's a brother from another mother.
Okay, like-
the Hamilton, and there's Manbhat, and there's Balajit, and the entire side from like our team BAD.
Okay.
And okay, that's more than 5, right? Okay, under 10.
Under
Keep it
10.
under 10.
TK.
But then my brothers have always been my like,
What group?
man, I don't even know what to describe. But like we're so tight, man, together. I would reveal all my secrets. That tell me their secrets.
It's really.
I won't reveal all the secrets to them, obviously.
But something's good.
But yeah, man.
That
But
tight-knit thing.
they have my back and I have their back. And the things which I can talk to them freely with, I can never talk about things with other people there. That kind of thing. We share that kind of bond. And sometimes it's like, there's no such thing as like me being the elder, and so there's a responsibility. We all play our different roles. Somebody else is good at doing something else for the house, for the home. So they contribute. Then there are aspects where I have to take leadership roles, and some other aspect I'll have to take. But overall, I think when you're living in a house, I think everybody has to take responsibilities there.
True.
No responsibility is easy. We all have a different roles, Even the quietest person from the house can be the most productive guy from the house.
Through his actions, kind of.
Yeah, through his actions, through him being there whenever you need. That is like big shout out to my brother Kinte also. Doesn't speak much and stuff, but man, it's like there were times where I needed help, like we have shoots or any sort of work that I have, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Even when he slept just 2 hours, he doesn't say much. Baba, what do you need? I'll be there for you.
Even if you commit murder, he'll be the one to fight you, kind of thing. Metaphorically speaking.
Okay. When I kill the verses.
Like
my 4 brothers is the guy who doesn't say much, but he's always there. Like, through his actions. When things get really, very dry sometimes, and we need a quick laugh and humor, and those are very highlighting moments. When nothing makes sense when we're having conversations in the house. And in the house, a house that does not have internal conflicts is not a lively house there.
Relationships as well.
Same, man.
Yeah.
And if you come over to Umpling, our house is the loudest because you'd hear my mom and dad yelling in the morning, like, "Ay, bepan wancha po! Kalani ka kuan pamin bam! Kalai ka cha!" That kind of stuff. Wait up!
Only brothers wake up by that time.
Yeah, man. And then when things get really annoying sometimes because everybody wants to speak. There are times when my third brother will just say something, one really deadly punchline, and everybody laughs and the tension is gone and everything disappears and we get back to normal. We have a good laugh about it. My second brother, he's also the most responsible yet caring person that I know. Even though sometimes he's like,
I'm the tough guy.
Yeah, I'm the tough guy, man. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Even when he kisses, when he cries, he'll be like, I'm sweating through my eyes now.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of thing. What? Oh yeah. What? And he go to my fifth brother, who's the youngest, and he's taller than him, right? And he reaches my brother here at the nose level, man. So he's like,
you're a tall guy yourself too, man. You're 5 feet.
No, man. I don't know.
You're tall though. You are tall.
I am?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not because of your hat though, but you are tall. Anyway, sorry.
It's my hat. So the art of deception.
You're the tallest, my brother.
No, man. My youngest brother is the tallest. So my second brother will go up to my fifth brother and he'll be like, what? You think you can take me or what? Yeah, you and then like freaking wrestle, man. Freaking at this even.
Do you like go to such extent where you like?
Nah, man, we just like play, wrestle, and stuff like that. Yeah, what? How? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, there'll be bumping chests, What?
The gorilla fight kind of thing.
And then the thing is, like, my fifth brother, obviously, he'd lose. Basically, that just have like debates between them. We'll just have debates. And my second brother will say something to the fifth brother, and he'll be like, oh shit, I'm efficient. And then after that, nobody can defeat me in FIFA, bro. Yeah, I'm the best.
Everything is happening in FIFA nowadays.
Yeah, exactly, man. Everybody will just go huddle down to my studio because, we have like, that's where I work and everything also. Okay. So everybody will go there in the spare time. They'll just go, like, FIFA, those are fine. Then when somebody loses, gone case, bro. Gone case. Then like, there'll be a picture. In your face! Ha! I just told you, man, loser!
The testosterone is up here, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, shit, okay, another one. Shit, no. And I'm tired, man. The winner would always say that. No, man, one more round. No, close the door. Don't let him out. Come.
But it just happens.
Yeah, it just happens like that, man. So it's crazy at home. It's crazy.
It's a crazy family, I guess. And I'm seeing that in good and in a bad way, but
yeah.
It's quite nice to have a certain family where they got your back. You're happy at the same time. You fight at the same time.
Yeah.
But man, I think at the end of the day, I think you being the leader or being the first, I think you have to be a good man. I feel like at the end of the day, you have to be centered upon yourself. You have to be the most. Hard to be, no one people can like break your frame kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get pissed off. You're pissed off at the things that are supposed to be pissed off at, if that makes sense. I don't know. But it's hard, man, being, I think, a first brother, right? Like being the first person, the first kid.
I think like having brothers, like the brothers that I have, it's like the one thing which I love about them is the fact that they're never judgmental of whatever phases I went through that.
Yeah.
No matter which sort of person I was back then, because there were many dark phases in my life too. It made like the whole process a lot easier, more like a privilege, man. It's like I would never trade their places over anybody.
True.
They're like amazing, man.
They're always there for you no matter what happens.
Man, always. It's like always. Even at times when I wasn't there for them, yet they still stuck around.
Yeah.
That brought new life there where who can I count? And was I really there when they needed me at certain times? And they'd get disappointed at times. I'm not gonna lie. There were instances where I wasn't being at the level where I should be as a hand of the family. But everything is enlightening me now. That long that's
lessons you learn always.
Man.
I think we as men, we grew up like through trial and error, rejections, through failures. I think you have had your fair share of failures as well. Like family or friends or whatever it may be, betrayal also is always there. I feel like we as men, we have to go through that, I guess, to be the men that we're supposed to be, like good men who contribute to society as a whole, right? So, like, what is the thing, like, if you were to meet a person right now, comes to you, hey, Banjop, what is the thing, like, you want to say to them that will change their life forever, right? Like, a tip probably for them to become a good man. Especially nowadays, we need good men out there who would really be good too. My goodness, I'm getting my allergies, man. Oh, I'm crying. Anyway, my apologies. One sec. One sec.
So, I think there's a lot of pollen going on around nowadays.
That's the reason why, man. I've been having these allergies. So anyway, I wasn't crying, okay? Just saying. So what is your...
Pollen.
It's the pollen, man.
Yeah.
So what if you were like a small kid to come to you? he asks you like some kind of word of wisdom, what would you say, man?
I think I would just ask them directly. I wouldn't even tell them anything, man, because whether he's a kid or whether he's an adult, or it doesn't matter who he is, but ultimately he's a perfect individual the way that he is. I think just the way of just guiding him where he needs to be there.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I would tell him or her is to ask him one question. What is it that you really love doing? Even when you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
What is it that you love doing without you ever being tired of doing? You know, some people would basically have the answer within them there. But once the person figures out that aspect, then I'll tell them, like, don't be stuck here. Learn about it more, improve yourself more in that direction. Because when I found out about that I loved rap or something like that, what is it that I really love? I really love the art of creating, right? The art of creating. So I had to like learn how to get better at it.
True.
And don't let ego get in the way.
Yeah.
No matter, see, like, you don't get stuck there, because some people, they're like, inborn talent is there, so TK, man, I don't need to work, I don't need to do anything, I don't need to work, I'll just, God-given talent, I'll just do whatever I need to do. Man, that's like really wrong, because if you don't work on what God has given you, then you're not doing justice to yourself, and you're turning your back on God, man.
Yeah,
so
true.
If you're really good at designing clothes, research all who are the top leading designers in the world, what style goes around, like you do all your research work, so that like apart from the worldly knowledge that is already there, then the divine knowledge will basically push you in that direction.
True.
And it becomes very effortless. And as my second brother Arkam says, if it is easy, it is right. When it comes to love him, if it feels easy, man, it is right.
Yeah.
Provided you're getting all the results, because it's all about chemistry there.
Yeah. You and life as well. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that chemistry, that if you feel like it's meant for you, you just know it deep down. So you're like, this is what I like.
Because it's like if you touch on something and you feel it's getting just even if a bit of result comes out, a success result comes out.
Yeah.
You're on the right path.
True.
Yeah. And some people are like there where they just give up before they even start there. The main excuse, or maybe with all due respect to a lot of people, I'm not saying that you don't have struggles, you don't have hardships, but then with all the success stories that go out there, there's always that, we started from the bottom somewhere. Somebody like working, working as a janitor, working as a cleaner, working in dairy shops, mystery, all these people, had to, like, even with the biggest entrepreneurs nowadays in the world, they all started from like very basic things, man. Started from the bottom basically, but they just really had just totally admitted and be very honest with themselves. What do they love? And once they figured out that part, then the rest was all the work they did, for the love that they have. Yeah, that's it, man. So I'll just tell them to pursue what you love.
True. Because we had a lot of content and the conversation that we have is really good. Don't you think like sometimes positivity is just shut down our throats? Sometimes like everywhere you see like so much positivity is like this generation. Why I'm saying this generation all the time, because we are living in it, right? We're in this era where positivity is everywhere, man. It's like sometimes it's suffocating. Sometimes don't you think like positivity is too much sometimes, like in this world nowadays, or do we need more of that?
I think.
Or we need to be realistic a bit about life too.
I think more, I would like maybe, I think I would make more of an analogy at this point. Because from my perspective, what I feel is positivity that's being shoved down our throats is more of a way to provide people with shortcuts to success, right? It's like, why would positivity be shoved down the throat so much? Because they need that instant rush of adrenaline in the form of motivation, right?
To sell certain books by these guys.
Certain books. Maybe you need to advertise for something. Like, for example, we have institutes you, saying like, come study with us, 1 month course, crash course.
Yeah. You'll pass.
Crash course, you'll pass. But at the end of the day, the crash course becomes the name itself. Crash. You will crash. There are very less issues of, come study with us. Like there's a 2 years course or something. People don't want to put in the hard work there.
Yeah.
That false sense of positivity is really bad because it's false advertisement, I feel, at the end of the day.
Selling a dream kind of thing.
Selling adrenaline rush, man. Because people get like hooked onto that so fast. But basically because when that false sense of positivity, toxic positivity, I would say, is being shoved down their throats, then people will only rely on motivation.
True.
Will only rely on motivation. Right? That will be your only sense of fuel. If there's no motivation in the tank, then you won't go forward. What if on a particular day you don't have motivation and you're still supposed to work? Where will that, like, what is your fuel?
You go through the motions kind of thing. Yeah.
So, but then like when motivation is not present, then I think there should be some sort of other fuel that should fuel you to move forward there. And that will come through muscle memory, through persistence. Like, have you tried, maybe if you run a 100-meter race, motivation, man, come on,
Yeah, true.
Push, boom, motivation, done. Like, it ends in 100 meters. Try running like a 10-kilometer race. Like, you'll be very motivated for maybe the first 100 or 200 meters. Then after that, I'm like, F this, man, I'm too tired and stuff like that. But then what if you're like persistent and being consistent with your training or whatever it is, that will push you the extra whatever mile is there. You keep on telling yourself, what, I've been through this, my legs hurt, but yes, I've been through this. So like that toxic positivity will only bring that motivation, which is not it's very much desired, but it won't get you the long way there.
Yeah. It's just that short burst of speed, but then other than that, you don't reach anywhere. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to go through the motions. Despite the fact you go through the motions, you still do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing, man. I think that's what you have proven to the people, I think, about your rap and your way of versatility when it comes to music. I think it doesn't come overnight, man. You must have really worked hard on your craft and your pen game and all that stuff. You're such a genuine person. You're like a friend that I've known for almost 10 years, and it's like this conversation that we're having right now. It's I feel like we're college friends.
Yeah.
We're now sitting here talking about rap, and I'm a big rap fan, mostly Tech 9. Big Tech 9 fan. But so anyway, but other than that, you're such a down-to-earth person and so much depth to your character, which is, this is why the show wants to really reveal who you are, because people nowadays will be like, oh, he's the rapper, right? Singer.
Yeah. And
that's it. Like, story ends, and you have the glitz and glamour towards you, but what is the real Banjop? That's one thing that I want to bring in this show, and you have really revealed. We have talked about not just rap, but we talked about relationships, society, and different other things, and your family as well. So I wanted to say, man, we have, I think, gotten enough content to really help the fans understand, his fans, that he is not just a rapper, but he has a very down-to-earth personality, which is something that's very rare in most people.
Yeah, man, and I keep telling everybody out there, if you're having a difficult time with anything at all, like I'm always easy to reach. It's not that I'm in the position where I am and I can't help you guys out or something. I won't return your messages or whatever it is. But for the relevant things, don't come to me with bro, blah, 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 like bombarding me with very
stupid things.
Like irrelevant sort of things in the most humble way.
Yeah. As he put it, in the most humblest way as possible. So whatever maybe it's been, I don't know how much minutes we've been having this content.
Yeah.
So definitely guys, do follow him on Instagram and his video and his Instagram. What am I saying? His YouTube and his Instagram as well. Yeah. He goes by Banjop, right? Banjop. So check him out. He's really one of the best people that I know right now. Getting to know him it's a different experience, man. I know you have so much depth and you can really do well in life. Man. I hope that you reach the top where I can finally say that I interviewed him one day.
Bruh.
One day I interviewed him. Remember that time?
Means a lot, man. Thank you so much. And I know that your channel will definitely be up there with one of the best podcasts that we have.
Nice.
Because big shout out to you and your entire team out here. Entire team of us. Entire team.
Sounds like a 5-6 crew, man, right here. So yeah, but it's been an honor, man. And until next time, enjoy. Good night. Grab a cup of coffee, share stories, have a good conversation with different people. And yeah, good night. And see you soon. And to subscribe to this channel and follow me as well.
Yeah,
Hit
man.
the bell icon as well. See you.
Assessment if they ask me about where my heart is. Osiris, my girl, she a Greek goddess. You lame, I go full target with it. You jealous, might have got my touch in it. Damn lies, all fables. I leave like Dean Ambrose. Deep plans like A-Wall, hold you greasy like mayo. COVID, she COVID. Love kang yape, kubar stupid.